Hello, all. We are back, and every time I see that vampire, it makes me smile. It's such a good face swap. I think you might be muted, Salsy. There we go.
Woo woo time is here. Happiness and cheer. Bigfoot comes and Loch Ness does, and the World Economic Fund is trying to kill us. What's going on, Purple Valk? What's going on?
True story. All of the above. And Merry
Yeah.
Christmas, Salty, since it is the season.
Well, happy Christmas to you and your Father Christmas and your Christmas Krampus and your Christmas crumpets and your Christmas pies. Aye. They're always after me Lucky Charms, aren't they? Yeah. I killed Purple Valkyrie. We're not
You
even
did.
a minute in the show and I killed Purple Valkyrie.
I love that. Before we jump into it, let's see who we've got. We've got Ren Zero. He says tail end of my birthday, and I get a purple stream. Well, happy birthday! Very happy birthday to you. I hope you're having a fantastic day because obviously you are in the UK and it is evening for you.
Happy birthday, Ren Zero. Happy birthday, dude.
Happy
Seriously.
birthday. We've got Smile a While for me. Great to see you as always. We've got Mr. Batsu. Hello. We've got Christian DeLorme. Hello. We've got D-Bud Martin. Great to see you as always. We've got Silverlock. Hello, Silverlock. We've got Geek Strong. Great to see you. And we've got Daniel as well. And I've just seen Jade the Deep Minded. Good evening to you, honey. And hey, to Jim the Viking. We've got the UK crew and European crew rolling in. Great to see you guys. And yes, please, if you are not subscribed to Salty, please do. And please check out the fantastic videos that he's been putting out recently. The one that came out today was it was pretty epic, I've got to say.
It was from the heart. I'd never done that before, and I'm not going to make this a salty show. This is about Woo and his Purple Valkyrie, but I was really excited to look back at some of the videos I'd made this year because it'll be 2 years for me in January or February of next year that I started YouTube. And there was a video that I did talking about all of the fantastic entertainment, all the fantasy we were going to get in 2020. And I just wanted to respond to myself, like I went in a TARDIS and said, "Salty, you moron. Don't have any hope for anything." Anyway, let's talk about Woo Woo.
Yes, let's say hey to Fema. Great to see you. And we've also got the lovely Sherry. Hello, sweetheart. Great to see you as well. So, my compliments on the Grinch, by the way. That's a fantastic avatar.
Well, I changed browsers. And I am not compensated for this, but I walked away from anything Google. And I'm now on an entirely different browser, but it didn't migrate everything. So like this, because it's the first time I'm doing this in StreamYards, all of the stuff that I had set up in the evil depopulation pedo thing, Google, I now have to manually do here in Brave, which is a small price to pay, ideally, for not being tracked.
And censored, as we found last time. Which was an interesting phenomenon.
All of my devices that have anything Google on it started acting crazy when I started to talk about their programs, which aren't secret. You're just not supposed to talk about them. Assholes.
It always makes me smile. It warms my heart when you talk about that.
Yeah.
But the first thing that I wanted to kick things off with, because we like to have a little bit of a mix here on the Woo Woo Show. So I'm going to kick it off with a interstellar story. I was going to say international, but it's even further. So we have just found out that the object known as Oumuamua is now on its way out of the solar system. It's leaving us. I'm not sure if you're familiar with this.
I thought this was that ground up pineapple stuff you got when you went to Hawaii. Oumuamua. Chat? Am I wrong? Oh, shut up. Go ahead. Sorry.
And Smile a While for me says Brave is the best. She loves that browser. I'm going to have to try that out.
Hell yeah. I trust Sarah.
So this is a artist representation of Muramura, and it's a bit of an anomaly. So it says the Muramura was first known interstellar visitor to pass through the solar system. Since Space Explored first began reporting on it, the quarter-mile-long object has passed beyond Pluto's orbit and is now on its way out of the solar system. Now, the thing with the Muramura is it comes and goes, and it doesn't behave the way that a space object, if you thought it was just a rock, does. It has a tendency to move in ways
Navigate.
that really shouldn't. Yeah, so people have said, well, this doesn't actually behave the way something, say, a asteroid or a meteor or any other just lump of rock that's drifting about in space behaves. It has a tendency to change directions a lot and come back on itself, but let's see what they've got to say. So researchers at Harvard Smithsonian made waves in the mainstream media after publishing a paper claiming that a Muramura may have a artificial origin, and a lot of people glommed onto this. They think, okay, this is proof that this was once an alien ship, and this is all that's left of it. It looks like a dried out husk of something that's just floating through space.
Like so it looks like Klaus Schwab. Is that what or George Soros?
Pretty
in
much.
Space.
Yes.
Only it's not as evil as they are.
Put a suit on that, and yeah, you kind of. I can see where you're going.
You know, we did a video on the petrified Viking poop of York, and if you want to go back, chat. I'm not even trying to be funny. Go back to the picture, Purple Valkyrie, please. If you refer to that picture of the petrified Viking poop, and then you look at this Oumuamua thing, I don't know. Coincidence, Purple Valkyrie? I don't know. I'll show you.
I never thought of that, but now that you bring it up, it does look very familiar. Daniel says it's a space rock whale. Could be.
Aye, Captain. There be whales. Arr, aye, arr. It's
and
transparent
Daniel
aluminum.
Says, Tin Man. I see you, Daniel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna go look for that Viking poop picture and let you do your article.
But yes, indeed, and we've got Jacob Ironside. Great to see you. We've got Trinoculus P. Hello, and we've got Naughty Monkey Olaf. Good to see you. I haven't seen you for a while. So let me jump back and kind of skim through this article because it gets a bit wordy. So they presented speculation this object could have been sent intentionally to Earth by an alien civilization. The aliens are throwing rocks at us now, kind of like Bigfoot. This theory is based on the object's excess acceleration or its unexpected boost in speed, separate from the sun's gravitational influence.
How did that happen? You know how that happens? That happens when you have a propulsion system. Other objects that come through our solar system, unless they get sucked up by Saturn or someplace like that, they don't just randomly, downshift and put in the cruise control and then hit the accelerator after they flip Earth the bird. They don't do that. That doesn't happen.
Indeed, it does not. And they've speculated that this is because it's been caught in the gravitational and it's been slingshot out. But as they keep saying, it does change direction. It does change speed. And that's not normal for
it's a big rock
like that.
This is a big rock. This is not some little like pebble thing or so. This is a large sizable thing. And I remember before this thing even got into our solar system, they were calculating that it was decelerating as it was entering our solar system. Now it was postulated that Jupiter and Saturn, the other big planets that kind of act as the bouncers for the Milky Way, for our galaxy here, our solar system, they either can attract these giant meteor asteroidal things that come flying around, or they can repel them. But what they hadn't seen was a provable deceleration of something this large.
Yes. And what separates this from other bodies that kind of fling around our solar system as well is the speed that this thing goes. So they haven't learned much about it since it was found in 2017, but one thing, it is traveling very, very fast. In fact, it says when a Muramura was closest to the Earth, it was tumbling through the inner solar system at 196,000 miles per hour. For anybody who does kilometers, that's 87.3 per second.
Wow.
according to NASA, that's over 3 times faster than the average speed of a main belt asteroid, and 109 times faster than a bullet.
109 times faster than a bullet. Now, that's almost as fast as Amber Heard when she's on the really good cocaine. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
All allegedly. All allegedly. You know what to get Johnny Depp for Christmas? New sheets. I'm just saying, get him new sheets. And maybe a mattress, maybe a mattress protector, a quality one. Johnny, I'm thinking about you. Merry Christmas, Johnny Depp.
Merry Christmas, Johnny.
Merry Christmas to you.
And I really like this graphic that they've given us because it gives you an idea of what kind of weird traveling this thing is. So it came in, it kind of did a drive-by, and it's off out into wherever it's going to go next. Now we'll see if it comes back or if it decides to change.
Daniel, hail to Daniel, says solar wind, magnetic flux, swamp gas, climate change. There are any number of scientific explanations. Cats living with dogs, 40 days of darkness. Yeah, I don't know, guys. Something this large coming in this fast, decelerating, changing course. Now I understand there's some complexity here of astrophysics and other things that I failed in college. And, I get it, but normally you don't see something essentially make a U-turn that's moving that velocity at that size with that mass. It's not how it works.
That's correct. And let me say hello to Arno Modestate. Great to see you. Says, is it also spinning and turning? It is, but not at the speed that you would expect something that's going as fast as it is. You would think it would be tumbling end over end. It's not. It's actually in a corkscrew motion.
Which is crazy. Think about that. It's going like this. And no, ladies, I'm not trying to turn you on. Instead of going like this, like in Space 2001, it's kind of got that interstellar G-spot finder going on,
Ladies. So it says, just to wrap up, to this day, we've yet to classify what a Muramura officially is. This is in part because we have no idea. I think it's aliens, but that's just me. At first, we thought it was an asteroid, a large chunk of rock from a distant star system. Then they thought it was a comet, a cosmic iceberg, if you will. And we're Titanic. And now science and researchers are completely stumped. Only left to speculate with a little bit of data now that it's off on an adventure into who knows where as to what this visitor actually was. I'm hoping that it stops, turns around and really freaks people out.
I heard Celine Dion, My Heart Will Go On, and imagine the corkscrewing a Muamua asteroid cruising past at 110 times the speed of a bullet. I did.
And if you guys actually want to track its progress, what I will do is I'll put the link in the description if you're curious to see where our funny rock-like, not at all spaceship visitor is going next. But I thought that was a pretty cool, and this is something that I've seen, but you could do an entire show on what this object is and what people have speculated as to what it means.
Sorry, I have to reset all the security settings. I'm trying to share things. Brave crowd. So apparently I can't share anything unless I quit out of the stream because I'm a professional. Oh, God. Kiss my ass. Let me see if I can share this. Here we go.
Let's see. There we go. Oh, there we go. I recognize that.
Yeah, everybody knows this who's been to York. This is, of course, at the Viking Museum. And this was the joke that I was making. This is the, how was it, 400-year-old petrified Viking poop that Purple Valkyrie has actually been in the presence of. It's impressive when you see it in person. That picture doesn't really give the size and girth of what this thing actually is. And whoever, let this go, I think they were having probably a bad day. Because if you haven't watched this video, it was something I did a lot of work on with the edits. We go into exhaustive detail as to what this contained, the diet of the Viking, where it was found, why it was in such a great state of preservation. If you're bored, especially on Christmas Eve, watch that video on the petrified Viking poop of York.
It's a Christmas log, if you will. Thank you, Ren Zero.
It's not a Christmas miracle, but it's definitely you'd remember this. You know what I'm saying?
Let me say hey to Keck44 and
Hail.
Trinoculus, you are not wrong. Viking friend was having a bad week of it. Yes, that would have brought a tear to whoever that was, his eye.
Yeah. All right, let's go to. I'm gonna go to one of the most garbage tier sites ever. I have ridiculed this site mercilessly, especially for when they said this is the same site, Den of Geek, that before the Rings of Power came out, called us all white supremacists and says that Tolkien needs to be updated for modern audiences.
I remember that.
Yeah, that was the first time I was on your show. It was Zach's and I. God, it was like last April, May or something. Yeah, they're crap. But this article I thought was kind of cool. And if you don't mind, Purple Valkyrie, I'm going to share with you and our audience members the best spooky and horror themed gifts for those of you into the woo and the paranormal. You still have, I can do math, 11 shopping days left before Christmas. And if you're into the Hanukkah thing, I have no idea how many days you have left, but I think it's a couple. Let's do this article. Merry Christmas to everyone, by the way. So this comes to us from the Shills at Den of Geek, and it says, for the paranormal enthusiast who has everything, there's a spooky batch of non-traditional gifts for the discerning fan in your afterlife. Now, I looked through this, and there are a couple of winners, but as you expect, there's a lot of shit. There's a lot of shit. It's just like, what in the hell were you doing? Yeah, so this writer wanted to assemble this gift guide. Basically, there are items that the writer wants personally, but also reflects the cryptid searching, ghost hunting, UFO watching, magic wielding loved ones in your life. So here we go. Regardless if you're into Christmas, Hanukkah, the made-up holiday, which doesn't really exist, Kwanzaa, Saturnalia if you're on the pagan side of the street, winter solstice, again, a different brand of flavor of pagan, or the Yule. You got it all. So this one is intriguing to me. So this is Herodin's I can do this. Herodin's Vodka Paranormal Reserve. Now, story behind this particular Herodin product is it's from a collection of 666 bottles.
Okay.
It's not the neighbor of the beast, it's the actual beast's house, 666, each of which has been rested in the now closed occult museum of Ed and Lorraine Warren. We've talked about them, haven't we?
Okay, I'm liking this so far. Okay, so it's definitely got the spirits within.
And you get this cool case, and it's got a Ouija board top, but they, of course, with a couple that was associated, and we covered this a couple of months ago with the Conjuring and Annabelle films, those creepy ass dolls that someone made fun of and then got in a serious motorcycle accident. That I'm butchering the story. But though the Warrens have detractors, they aren't the primary reason for this gift. Rather, it's an attractive presentation. Now, each of these 666 bottles of potentially cursed and possessed vodka is made from recycled glass. Those of you worried about climate change. So no two are alike. In addition, the bottles are hand dipped in black wax and emblazoned with a traditional letterpress. It comes in a gorgeous wood case with a Ouija board. Kind of cool.
That's rather beautiful, and I've known some cursed bottles of vodka because I've drunk them, but that's actually lovely. How much is that retailing for, Salty?
Glad you asked, Purple Valkyrie. $199 US.
Oh, okay.
$200 for a bottle of possessed vodka, potentially. Offers void were prohibited. Yeah. And if that's not enough to entice you, the Herodin brand, fuck this for a lifetime, is a female-owned, female-founded company.
Of course it is.
With feminist fiercely inclusive and collective well-being, Marxist values. Again, I'm going to remind you, they're charging you $200 for a bottle of piss-grade vodka, which just has some really cool branding on it, but they're feminist, fiercely inclusive, and all about collectivism unless you F with their money, and then you can die. But
isn't capitalism wonderful?
The name of their company is, of course, Harridan, which it means a bossy and or belligerent old woman. They have a website, including that has other schlock that they can get. But if you want to buy from angry lesbians who preach about capitalism being bad, but are all about capitalism charging you $200 for a $20 bottle of vodka, check this one out. Now, this one, I know. This I like. This is a coffee cup. Purple, what do you think about this? Let's bask in the glory of this a little bit. What do we got here?
Okay, this is special. This is like you call it Where's Waldo, don't you? We call it Where's Wally. It's like find the cryptids. I'm seeing a Bigfoot down the bottom. Is that? It looks like a werewolf. I see Mothman. I love Mothman.
Yeah, you got Mothman. You got a big kraken. This is some, I don't know what the hell that is. If that's Joe Biden or Hunter, I don't know. This looks like an intestinal worm, so I'm guessing that's Camilla Harris. And that's the cryptid mug. You can get that for $21.95.
Okay,
you can buy it
more reasonable. That's kind of special. Now,
this is somebody on Etsy who makes it, so this is not made in China crap, so you might want to check that out. It's a whimsical 11-ounce mug, which, as we mentioned, has Bigfoot, Mothman, Dogman, Nessie, Chupacabra, and Camilla Harris on it. So I actually like that mug a lot.
I really like that. That would be even better if it changed color, and the background went dark, or it hid the cryptids. Yeah. That would be kind of cool. But
or if it's summoned. If it's summoned a cryptid, a random
you could drink your $200 vodka out of it and be classy.
It's true. And you could it's like a blind bag. Wake up with Camilla Harris. Oh Jesus, that's terrible. Okay, so this is the 13th floor artwork. So this is, it's like a retro sort of a Art Deco 1950s UFO piece of artwork. Of course, has the Empire State Building. Now this ranges
to look into the future.
Yeah. So, oh God, I'm not going to say all the things that would get your channel taken out. So this comes from an artist by the name of Billy Ludwig, who charges between $15 probably for a postcard and $245 for his artwork. Now he's best known for his Star Wars versus World War II art series, in case you've seen those. But this photo manipulation mastery is applied to paranormal topics as well. Now, this is retro flying saucers over New York City in 1953. It's kind of cool. This guy has other things that are out there. He has a UFO collection available in sets of 11 by 14 quality cardstock prints for $45. Let's go ahead. Now, did this come over with me, Purple, or no? Are we still on the old page?
No, we're still on the old page.
I can do this. I know how to stream. Hold on.
That's how it
works. I can do this. Vamp for me while I boomer every damn thing I do.
Jacobine says just what I want for Christmas. Feminist spiritual spirits, indeed. And let me say hey to Awesome One. It says Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you also. Great to see you.
Merry Christmas.
What have we got? Okay.
So this is this artist's website. Oops, I'm looking at Viking poop again. Let me get to the right page.
It's kind of hypnotic.
Yeah. So, you can see this collection. Look at this. Obviously, this is the same guy who did the Star Wars World War II mashup, where I guess it's art to put the Millennium Falcon on a World War II battleship. But this one in particular,
I like. That one is good.
So this one, okay, here we go. So this is a 4-set picture. Now this one, obviously, huge spider. This is called the Great Terror. This is what we looked at. Effing spiders. Okay, no, that's kind of cool. I actually like that one. The Statue of Liberty with the retro flying saucer. And then this one, I believe, is called The Unveiling.
Oh, okay. I
which,
actually really like these.
yeah. Yeah, this is like Bob Lazar. This is like the Bob Lazar story. Do y'all know what I'm talking about?
Yes, yes, and
Yeah.
Bob's been trending recently, I noticed.
Yeah, I hope he's not going to anything with the Clintons. But anyway, this is kind of fascinating. I don't know this guy. I don't know his politics. I don't know if he's a pile of poop or what. But I just think some of this stuff is kind of cool because, you don't have to give everybody socks or, send them to rehab. You can actually get them a present for Christmas.
Let me say hey to Zax. He says, "Hail, salty and purple. Great to see you, Zax."
See, I talked about rehab and Zax appears. I mean, I'm not saying there's a connection. I'm just saying, hey, Zax. If you want to be really spendy, you can give this French guy $3,000 to tour the myths and lore in the south of France. So it's a weird, mysterious world out there, and not just when it's full of people who enter your country illegally and have no interest in assimilating and are proceeding to drape all of your young women. It also has to do with your history of the country of France. Now, there are things that occur there. There's a big festival April 10th through the 18th of next year, the Myths and Lore Tour. Now, this is all around France's paranormal epicenter, where witchcraft was born. Now, you're going to be looking at ghost stories, where they come from, the infamous beast of Govardhan. And on this tour, guests will also stay in a very beautiful part of France. You'll ghost hunt in a medieval castle, hunting for the White Lady. Hashtag too white. Yeah, I'd like to look for the White Lady.
Try that bottle of fuck yeah.
I'd like to look for the White Lady that's actually Ciri's ancestor in The Witcher Blood Origin, but I digress. But anyway, if you've got, about $4,000 and feel like going hang out with this guy in France, I'm sure nothing could go wrong.
Absolutely. No.
Yeah. So there's a book called Shutter Creepshow. This was $50. When did books? So this is From Script to Screen. It's about basically the history of George A. Romero. Talks to multiple producers from The Walking Dead, other people like that. It looks at Romero's legacy as a filmmaker, and it starts with 1982's Creepshow and Stephen King and all the other stuff that's out there.
I love Creepshow. Okay, it looks like a really good book. Maybe not for $50, but it looks interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Last and certainly least is this Scarlet Witch with Darkhold statue.
Wow.
The movie that made me swear on YouTube I would never see another Marvel movie in the theater, of course, being the multiverse of mediocrity. Now, if you want your very own Scarlet Witch with Darkhold, it's $200. You can get that. I don't recommend buying any of that shit. And finally, in closing, there is the Beetlejuice Tiki Mug gift set.
Okay, these I like. This is awesome.
Now, we do live in Joe Biden's America, so something that used to cost $20 or $25 is now $75. But if you want this Tiki Muglet gift set, you'll have to drop about $75 plus shipping. It is really cool. You'll notice the iconography from the movies. A lot of the characters that were in, I believe, the waiting room in Death when they first went down to try the the Bureau of the Afterlife.
Yes,
they were in the waiting room. Yeah.
I love that the box is the book as well. That's pretty clever, but $75 for some glasses. Oh my gosh.
So there you go. There's more schlock, more crap in here, but I thought those would be kind of cool to talk about,
I think those are really cool. The mug was actually my favorite. I would agree with you because that was the most kind of whimsical. Plus, it was made by not some huge corporation across the sea,
or a cunty feminist who's all about Marxism. Oops, I should not have said that. Yeah.
And Renzira says, does Elizabeth Olsen come with that statue? Yes, but only on a timeshare. She moves about.
You better not have her children that aren't real. You better not have those children, because she'll kill everybody and torture everyone in your town. But she's still stunning and brave.
So stunning, so brave, and I actually never watched that film, so Salty's got one up on me on that one.
If I honest to God, I hadn't seen anything in the cinema. From what was it, Marvel Phase Bore? I hadn't seen,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, okay, I'm going to give this one a shot because I was like, all right, we got to do. There's a penis in this movie. The title character has a penis. So I was like, I got to go see this because there are very few penises on, in Marvel Phase 4. So I went and bait and switch. Of course, it's not about the penis. It's about the crazy bitch in red who's delusional and
And
then we
angry.
stuck a bunch of cameos that didn't make any sense and killed characters that I like in a bitch way, like John Krasinski got taken out like a bitch, and then we have to watch, Captain Britain or whatever it is. No disrespect, instead of Captain America. I hated that movie so much.
And people wonder why the MCU is dying.
Yeah.
Before I move on to the next topic, let me just grab this because we have got a super chat that has come in. So let me say a massive thank you and Merry Christmas to MB Geeks Bar and Grill. Great to see you. He says, Merry Christmas, Purple Valkyrie. Been a spell since I've seen you. If you ever want a comic thing again, I'm still game for next year. Yes, indeed. Last year, MB Geek and I did a couple of shows covering different comics and adaptations, and I'm always up for that, so I'll send you a DM. But thank you so much for the super chat, and it is great to see you as always.
Can I just point out all the love and appreciation for strong, independent female characters that's occurring in your chat? Dempsey in particular says, I didn't watch that movie, but I did watch Mahler's review, which was probably 8 times as long as the movie, but much more entertaining. 6 hours of explanation scene by scene.
Wow.
Only Mahler can do Mahler. Anyone who tries to be Mahler but Mahler, you look foolish. You really do.
This is true. He is the master at it.
Ren Zero says multiverse of mediocrity was a total mess. It really was. You could tell where the reshoot started, and you could tell that they took a lot of the hardcore underage. Did I mention underage 14-year-old lesbian stuff out with what's her name? America Chavez.
Oh, Chavez, yes.
Because my representation is important. She's Latin. She's the first queer Latinx superhero in the Marvel universe. I did a video. That was the selling point. That was the selling point of your Doctor Strange movie. Kiss my hey Disney. How's that stock price looking? How's it going?
On top of the world. That's what they are. Let me say hey to OBG70. Great to see you. Hello there. And we've got our favourite vampire as well. He's joined us. He said, it's been a long time since I've heard the dulcet tones of sexy Salty Sea and Purple.
You're a mean one, Mr. Nosferatu. That's about all you get. I can't do Thrall, Raven's Claw, or Harry Potter. I can't do it. Sorry.
I love that. That's one of the ones I haven't watched yet, but it's on the list. I've been slowly working my way through all of the Christmas specials.
I know. And then she tells me, like, I've been saying, you got to watch this, you got to watch that. And she's like, shut up, Salty. I'm going to do a Christmas show where I talk about watching all of these American TV shows, including Charlie Brown, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Frosty the Snowman, for the very first time. And I'm like, let's do it now. She's like, no. And I'm like, fine. But that's coming.
It is coming. I'm still doing research. I'm working on it. I promise.
Yes. D. Bud Martin says Thurl Ravenscroft. I knew how to say it. I was trying to be funny. Did you watch my video 2 days ago? Not to pimp my own stuff, but the Charlie Brown one's kind of interesting. You know, I knew the basis of that, but some of the other details I didn't know. It's fascinating. You know what's weird? The Charlie Brown Christmas special came out 57 years ago.
Wow.
57.
And the message still rings true.
We can't even get a Santa Claus with a penis now. I weep. I want a time machine. I do. on a time machine.
Me too. I don't want to go hundreds of years back, but far enough back, to where things weren't as crazy as they are now.
I would go back to the time of the Black Death at this point. I really would, because I'd have a fighting chance. I'd go back to the Dark Ages where you could be burned at the stake. That's cool. I would be okay with that. Do you know why? Because not everything in the world is trying to poison me. What's in the air, what's in the food, what's being shot in arms. All of the money is digital, and give me my chances there. Give me my chances crossing the Atlantic and potentially sailing off the edge of the world versus this clown show of minor attracted billionaires trying to depopulate the planet.
It does feel like someone's hit randomize on a simulation just to see what would happen. When you used to play The Sims and just cranked everything up just to see how quickly it'd fall apart. But I'm digressing. Before I jump into this article, let me say we've got a couple of other people. We have got Shieldwaller Dragons. He says, "What's up, everyone? Having fun talking about Christmas and hanging out with some friends.
And so breaking Salty's balls. Look at the salty hate. Hashtag stop the salty hate. It says Salty is 1,000 years old. Actually, I'm 4,000 because Gandalf I was there 3,000 years ago when the strength of men failed. Daniel says he wants to live in the 1890s. I know. There's nothing hotter. And I know Daniel agrees with me than a flash of a finely turned ankle.
You saucy devils.
You thought OnlyFans was hot. Ooh, baby. Yeah, and Nosferatu says 57 years ago, Salty was only 30 back then. I missed you too. I think I look great for being 87. Thank you for doxing me. I owe it all to good, clean living and bourbon.
I think,
of course.
You like Aragorn, that's what it is.
Yeah. I'm one of the Numenorians. I'm one of the Dunedain. I am.
And let me say hey to Kai. Hello, Kai. Great to see you. It's been a while. Hope you're doing well. So I'm going to jump back into this article. It's probably going to be a bit of a letdown, but have you ever heard of the story of the children of the Wall Pit? Not just normal children, but green children. Now, this is a documented case that happened.
I'm sorry. I was going to make a joke about Jeffrey's Island, and then I saw this, and I was like, is this what happens when the morning pill doesn't work for She-Hulk? I probably shouldn't have said that, but go ahead.
The story's even weirder than that. So, is it a folklore or is it actual historical events? Let's find out. So, whenever I talk about the story of the green children of Warpick, I get two extreme reactions. One, the skeptics say that the story is a perfect example of medieval superstition and freakish imagination because they didn't have a lot to do back in the medieval times. When you die at 30, I suppose that's what you do. Or, on the other hand, the believers say that the children belong to a fairy underworld, not known to us, with even some telling that the green children were aliens.
Okay. I have never heard of this. Tell me more, Purple Valkyrie.
Right.
And you can tell the black light curtain I had up fell off my window when it's sunny outside because I now look like I'm caught in the middle of a nuclear blast in my studio. So, yeah, that happened.
And Shield War says, wait, does this story take place in England? Yes, indeed, it does. It's quite a famous story, at least over here. So I'm going to cover it and kind of let you guys know. So it said the truth lies somewhere in between. Yes, the strangest element of the story is that it is actually true in that it is documented and we've had it recorded that these kids did actually exist, although it is botched by multiple concoctions of legends and myths that have obscured the truth that lies somewhere in between. The fact of the story has and is still going for 1,000 years because it has been vouched by two famous English historians, Ralph of Coggeshall, don't know him, and William Newberer, don't know him either.
William would never lie. I used to drink with him. He's a straight shooter. He would never lie about green children in wool pits. Never.
But there you go. See, William knows what's up. So I'm going to say it's true then in that case.
Ralph... I'm 1,000 years old. I'm 1,000 years old. I actually knew these guys. Thanks a lot, Jacob, and just you guys outing me. Jesus.
Ralph claimed to have first heard the story from a famous squire, Sir Richard Cain himself, not Michael Caine, which would have been hilarious, and wrote about it in 1189, called the Chronicon Anglicanum. I hate it when I use Latin words. William, on the other hand, who Salty vouches for, published the story in Historia Rom Anglicarum later in 1220, after hearing from a, in quotations, trustworthy source. So this is some guy that he spoke to down the pub.
Yes. And could you say that book name again? Only like Gladriel would have been the Rings of Power.
Oh,
rolling your R's.
I didn't roll enough R's. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's try again. So, Historia Riam Anglicarum. There we go.
Wow. That sounds so Welsh. Wow.
It does. I probably just summoned a demon, so be careful, guys.
Better that than the gay and trans new Doctor Who. Just gonna say.
What's the difference?
Well, I think it'd be a lot more fun and entertaining to hang out with a Welsh demon than it would the BBC. I'm just gonna say that.
Hashtag defund the BBC. So let me continue. Is this a folktale or a garbled account of an actual historical event? Who knows at this stage? But let's find out what people say. Experts have done their best to explain, but to no avail. So, look at that little wood cutting. I love those. So, the story of the Green Children. The village of Walpick is in the county of Suffolk, which is in East Anglia, about 7 miles east of the town of Bury St Edmunds.
How far is this from you, Purple Valkyrie? Because you're in the Midlands. If you, is it north, south, east, west? Where is this in relation to Birmingham?
It is south of me, so this is closer to the London, but not as far. So I'm in the West Midlands, and this is East Anglia. So down. So
this is
across.
This is nowhere near as. We can't blame as for any of this. Okay, all right, okay.
So during the Middle Ages, it belonged to the Abbey of Bury St Edmunds and was one of the most densely populated rural areas in England. All of this happened during the reign of King Stephen in the 12th century. One day, during harvest time, the villagers of Walpick discovered 2 strange children standing by a wolf pit. Hence, this is what the town is named for. These were huge pits back when we actually had wolves, which trapped them and killed them, so they didn't eat the livestock and probably anybody else that they came across.
Well, the only English wolf I'm familiar with is Benny Hill, so this must have even been before my time, since I'm 4,000 years old.
It doesn't say whether or not the kids were actually found inside. I think they were, if I remember correctly. They were in the pits.
I didn't want to be culturally insensitive, but, were you baiting a wolf pit with green children? That's the question. I think somewhere Disney just took this idea and they're going to work the trans angle and climate change into it, and it'll be out on Disney Plus next year. That's what
coming to a streaming service near you soon.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
But it says the children were strange looking. Can you imagine? Everything was unfamiliar about them. Their skin was bright green. They didn't speak a word of English, and even the clothes they were from a completely different region. And
wow.
The surprising thing is they were not appearing to be orphans.
This is weird. I need to know more.
This is a weird story. It gets weirder as they go on. So it says they were clearly starving, and the villagers tried to give them bread, which they refused. And this went on for so long that they nearly did actually starve to death, until one of the villagers brought them green beans, which was, apparently did the trick, and that's pretty much all they ate for a very long time. So it goes on to say the villagers could not understand what they were saying, as they were speaking in an unknown language. Could have been Welsh, could have been French, who knows? And by using signs, they could interpret that the children could remember how they arrived in the Walpick.
I think I've solved it.
Oh, God. Go on. What do you think is behind this?
I'm going to share a link with you.
Okay. Let's see. Oh.
This is obviously the Jolly Green Giant's kid. Now, those of you in America may know this. I don't know if you have the Jolly Green Giant in the UK or other places around the world. But this is the character known as Sprout. Now, Sprout is a green child who runs around the countryside flogging things like green beans. Just saying, somebody over at the food at the Jolly Green Giant marketing department is either in on this green child thing from the UK, or it is one hell of a strange coincidence. That's all I'm going to say, Purple Valkyrie.
Okay, that's fascinating. I've never seen that character before, and we do actually have the Jolly Green Giants as a brand over here.
Ho, 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 Green Giant.
And Daniel said Sprout's an abomination.
Him and Scrappy Doo need to be put on a goddamn rocket one way. And that's who we need to have live in Elon Musk's Mars colony is Tony the Tiger and Sprout. And what I recommend is you load up the space capsule with cocaine and weapons and put video cameras in, because I would like to watch a battle of the death between Sprout and Scrappy Doo. Or did I cross some lines?
Oh my god.
That.
One of these days I need to do a list of the most annoying sidekick characters. Daniel says Scrappy's actually a demon.
But not one you'd hang out with instead of Doctor Who. I think I'd rather hang out with the gay trans Doctor Who than Scrappy Doo. I'm going to shut up. I'm sorry.
I know someone like Scrappy Doo. Yeah, I was never a big fan of Scooby Doo anyway, so it kind of missed me. But let's see what's happening with these green children. So all they could remember was they had been tending their father's castle, they got lost, and then they ended up walking around aimlessly until they found themselves inside the wolf pit, which was probably a bit of a surprise. Not knowing what to do, the villagers took them to the chief landowner, Sir Richard de Calnay, who agreed to let them live in his house.
That guy was a dick. That guy, I remember him. He was a dick 2,000 years ago. Yeah, he's a dick.
True story. The boy became sick and sadly died, but the girl regained her health. Eventually, she lost her green tinged skin, probably due to a change in diet, and she also learned to speak English. She was baptised as Agnes, who was then later married to a man at King's Lynn in the neighbouring county of Norfolk. So she actually kind of grew up and became normal. It was after that she learned English that she told the villagers about her true origin. As per her, that's a really bad sentence, she and her brother came from the land of St. Martin, a land where there was no sun but perpetual twilight. Sounds like the UK, and its inhabitants were green like them. She described a cave where she and her brother had wandered into by accident and came out the other side in bright sunlight.
Wow, this is weird. And Purple, you and I are going to talk about this, but we just watched the new David Paulides Missing 411 movie. We did about the UFO connection. It's interesting, just going to say that, but this thing about the caves. Coming out of the caves, very interesting.
Yes, there's a lot of stories about caves, and I think I might do a little bit of research, as Salty has said, and kind of go back and see if there's other visitors that have appeared from caves, because it is fascinating.
Ren Zero says Hollow Earth confirmed. If not that, then an extensive underground network of something that, and I'm not saying it's true, but some curious things that seem to have occurred along ley lines, subterranean-wise. Again, not 100% on board with it, but I'm just saying it's curious. It's very curious.
Indeed, and we have a lot of ley lines in the UK as well, just incidentally. So it says that when wandering, the Woolpick villagers then found them. Neither Ralph nor William offers an explanation about what happened to Agnes later on in life, but her story subsequently came entangled in a mesh of legends, rumours and folklores over the years. So can this actually be explained, or is it just kind of hearsay and word of mouth? So over the centuries we've had many explanations, some of them something plausible. So children were suffering from hyperchromic anemia, known as chlorosis, which caused malnutrition and poor diet, which would make sense if they weren't eating anything or eating whatever they could find. The condition results in giving a remarkable green shade to the skin. And because she then lost the green once she had a proper diet, that does make a lot of sense. And then regarding the strange clothes and language, historians believe they may have been Flemish immigrants escaping persecution of King Henry II, dressed in strange Flemish clothing and speaking another language. They would have appeared strange.
Green. You know, I think, yeah. And what is it? We've got Dempsey, who's adding nothing but value to this live stream. He says she was a chud. And I had to look that one up because I remember that movie from 1984, but I didn't remember the visual.
Sorry.
Now, I'm not going to say that you're wrong, Dempsey, but what I am going to say is imagine how ugly the other village girls must have been to think that that's the one you bring home to mom. I'm just saying that, you know?
She's a keeper.
Yeah, and not only did they get married, but presumably they had children, which probably would explain Prince Charles, I guess, somehow. Or should I not say that?
It all makes perfect sense now, yes.
Yeah.
Or if not, maybe there are descendants that have gone on and they've got alien DNA in them or something even weirder.
Yeah. Purple, what was the name of that disease where they were saying there was a green tinge to the skin? Now, obviously, it would appear to be anemic related. Now, anemia is being very low in iron in the blood. Yes. Now, when you're cyanotic, you turn blue. But what is the name of it? It is
hypochromic anemic.
I'll be back.
Yep. So, also known as chlorosis, which is caused by malnutrition and gives a green shade. Now, there's a lot of things that you can eat or drink that will change the shade of your skin. I wouldn't recommend any of them, but Salty's absolutely correct. And this would probably be the most likely explanation for what happened, but whatever the truth of the green children is, they've continued to remain an enigma for the last 1,000 years, and the event refuses to fit comfortably within the medieval scheme of things. And I actually just really like this story. It's one that I was pretty familiar with, and over the years people have tried their best to kind of come up with a plausible explanation for these kids and on what happened to them, but they haven't really been able to do it.
I'm going to actually unmute myself and talk again. So this is fascinating because, wow, way to pop up. So this is hyponorcitic hypochromic anemia. So what happens is normal blood cells have an area of pallor in the center, but patients with this hypochromic anemia, the area of the central pallor, it's increased in size. This decrease in redness is due to a disproportionate reduction in red cell, essentially your hemoglobin, and that pigment is part of the red of your blood, which gives your skin the color now that it does. Now, patients with hypochromic anemia may have a distinct green skin tinge, and other symptoms include lack of energy, shortness of breath, dyspepsia, headaches, and amenorrhea. The most common causes of this are iron deficiency and thalassemia. Fascinating stuff. I'm going to try and find a picture of this, but this is an actual diagnosis.
That is very interesting. I noticed it didn't say falling into pits was one of those either.
Well, there didn't seem to be any doubt. Oh my God, I have a picture. Okay, I was not expecting this, but I will say if anyone from the She-Hulk team and Disney is watching, I would actually look into this and maybe see what you can do with that. There you go. It's an actual patient. That's the actual skin tone. Now you can see on the right and the left side, normal, healthy skin. Now in the middle is somebody who has this type of anemia, which turns their green skin. Okay. This is nuts.
That's fascinating. That's actually a brighter green than I was expecting.
Me too. I was like, wait a minute, this is She-Hulk. This is better than She-Hulk. It's kind of crazy.
And Smile a While for Me says, my grandpa once ate so many carrots his skin turned orange. I've heard people have done that, yes. And is it chloric silver as well that you can take that can turn your skin
Oh, yeah.
blue as well, which I don't
Yeah,
recommend?
colloidal
Colloidal.
silver. That's something that I have colloidal silver, and it is oral. It's an oral solution. You want to mess around with that. I'm not a doctor. I have to say that because YouTube's kind of dumb. But if you're going to screw around with colloidal silver, essentially consider it a shotgun. Okay,
Mhm.
you're going to go in. You're going to do that. Have a goddamn good reason to take colloidal silver. Now you can take it in smaller doses. Again, I'm not a doctor, nor am I a naturopath. But when you start ingesting metals, even copper, other things like that, you got to be very, very careful about that. But colloidal silver will kind of mess you up. I still think it's a fantastic curative, and and why? Because no virus can live in the presence of silver. Interesting.
This is true. And Dempsey says, have you heard of the blue people of Kentucky in the US Appalachian Mountains? I have, actually. And when I was doing the story of the Green Children, that actually did spring to mind, so I might cover them next time. It is fascinating to see people turn different colors.
Yeah. Yeah, I tried to find more pictures, but there was just kind of creepy Asian dude who they tried to make look green, and I'm like, all right, let's stop. Didn't really work. We'll just say that.
And Smile a While for Me says it is amazing for burns as well. Have it as skin cure for burns and cuts. Also amazing for strep throat when sprayed at the back of the throat. Okay.
Yeah, use it when you need it. Use it when it's something serious. Strep throat or any of those diseases, obviously something like MERS. It's remarkable the things that occur in nature, which are much more effective at handling things, especially those infections produced by the overprescription of antibiotics, MERS being one of them. Of course, raw honey is one of the only things that can cure that flesh-eating disease. But colloidal silver is a good thing. It is a very good thing. But as ever, I always suggest this: buy books, but trust but verify. Talk to a naturopath, and not a naturopath that's 20. Talk to a naturopath that's a little older, not as old as 4,000-year-old Salty, but maybe he hasn't, maybe isn't just full of shit and bought all their books at Walden Books and claims to be a naturopath. So.
Yes, find someone who knows what they're doing. Let me say hey to Dadman Walking 55. Great to see you. And oh my gosh, let me say thank you.
Oh my God, Silverlock.
Thank you, Silverlock. Thank you so much. He says, just in case I have to leave, have a wonderful Christmas. You have a fantastic Christmas as well. Honestly, guys, we couldn't do this show without you. We love talking about woo-woo, but it's you guys in the chat that make it as special.
Yeah, believe it or not, as charming as I am, Purple Valkyrie gets tired of my shit, and she gets tired of the way that I interrupt her on live streams, because I may be charming, but you guys don't have to put up with me constantly bouncing ideas off you about things. And it makes the difference to have all of your interactions in chat, the crazy things that you say, the jokes that you make, the things that you teach us, just you being here. It's a really good thing, because every time we go live, doesn't matter if it's on my channel, Purple Valkyrie's channel, anybody that's out there, you never know if people are going to show up. And it means a lot. And Silverlock, you know, I've said it many, many times, but you post some really awesome things as a fellow Gen Xer that I love a lot. And I just want to say thank you. And I hope you are feeling better. And I hope things are progressing, that we talked about the way that you'd like them to. And I just want to wish you a very, very Merry Christmas, man. Seriously.
Absolutely. Silverlock, you're an incredible supporter. So thank you so much, and a very, very Merry Christmas to you and your family. Thank you.
Brilliant. I got something else.
You got something else? What have you got? Because I've got something too.
Oh, do you? I'll show you. You show me yours, I'll show you mine. Ladies. All right, this is about what you'd expect from an AM FM radio station news website in upstate New York. This one, I'm going to let you guys decide. I'm going to present you information on this, and I want you to tell me what you think. So this is from this week. Was Bigfoot captured on a Ring camera? in upstate New York. Okay.
I didn't know Bigfoot had Ring cameras. That's amazing.
Well, here we go. You can see it. You can see the picture there. Now, again, this is from December 6th and was published on the HudsonValley.com website, and it is in Hurleyville, upstate New York. Now, Bigfoot's Hudson Valley has a large history. You can see all of these footprints. People have made plaster castings. Now, this is near the Pine Mountains and near Sissing Mountains. There's actually Bigfoot Research, a group in Hudson Valley itself, and you can see some of what appears to be children's art that claim to be Bigfoot things. But the question is was Bigfoot caught on camera in Sullivan County in upstate New York? Now, the Bigfoot researchers of Hudson Valley showed this camera, and it has a large humanoid across the street. Now, I'm going to endeavor to zoom in a little bit to let you all take a look at this, and I'm going to allow the chat a few seconds to digest this.
Whilst the chat's making up their mind, do you have any theories as to what this could be, if not Bigfoot, Salty?
I think it's I'm not worried about Bigfoot. I'm worried about Antifa. Look at this guy. This appears to be somebody in a black coatee with a black backpack, and I'm wondering if this person didn't have a Trump sign or a Republican sign in their yard, and that this Antifa asshole is causing some problems. I don't see Bigfoot. I just see somebody in a hoodie who probably the pronouns are anti-capitalist. I don't get it. I don't see Bigfoot. Bigfoot doesn't wear skinny jeans. Look at the legs. Bigfoot has calves. Bigfoot has yams.
Skipped leg day, apparently.
Yeah. I just see some Antifa dick probably stole somebody's social security check out of the mailbox. That's all I see. What do you see, Purple Valkyrie? What's the chat saying?
Awesome one says it looks like Zach's crossing the street.
Holy shit. Awesome one, you're not wrong.
I can see it with the broad shoulders, perhaps. But Jacob Ironside says it's Bubba in a gorilla suit.
But it's skinny jeans. Look at the legs. If that's Zach's, then Zach's has skipped every leg day. And if I know Kyle, if I know anyone, Kyle does not skip leg day. All right, so whoever did this guy skips leg day. Really does. This is not Bigfoot. Bigfoot wouldn't skip leg day. Come on.
Bigfoot would not skip leg day. Renzero says now instead of a small black blob, I now see a large black blob. And Psychodorf, great to see you, says that's either Bigfoot or my XAF roommate.
Oh yeah. Guys, I mean, again, this is from a Ring camera, not from, a high density. Again, I'm not seeing it. I'm seeing skinny jeans. I'm seeing some asshole from Antifa probably out there protesting something. I don't get it.
We have got a confession in the chat, though. Zach says, busted.
Okay. Does your wife know about this? Does your wife know you're sneaking into the Hudson Valley in New York and stalking people's woods where there's Ring cameras? I was going to say, she probably won't be happy about that, Kyle. Zach is very top heavy. Yeah. There's so many jokes I want to make. But I love Zach. So, yeah.
I actually love this picture. So huge thank you to Salty for finding this. And we've done a couple of these in the past few shows. It's like, is this Bigfoot? Is this not Bigfoot? The one that I covered a little while ago was the one with the dude on the boat where Bigfoot just casually crosses in front of him on the island, which I thought was hilarious.
Perfectly timed. It was like Martin Scorsese with a dolly shot, perfectly timed to have Bigfoot come out of the trees as they're sailing by. It's a remarkable amount of synchronicity.
I can't speak for Salty, but I do actually believe in Bigfoot. I do think that Sasquatch is out there somewhere, but I don't think that they're dumb enough to actually be captured on camera. But it is fun to see people try.
Yeah, I mean, where I am now, and you can't drive a block without seeing a 7-foot woodcut chainsaw art Bigfoot. And I love it. And they're all different forms, all different shapes, all different sizes. There's a Bigfoot with a surfboard. There's a Bigfoot holding up somebody giving him a noogie. There's Bigfoot holding a beer. There's Bigfoot with a Trump sign. There's Bigfoot doing everything. There's Bigfoot with an axe. someday, again, when I buy a house, once the market stabilizes, I'm going to get a very large Bigfoot and put it in my front yard. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to have him doing. Maybe I'll have Bigfoot looking at binoculars at people. I don't know. Or maybe a shotgun. Bigfoot with a shotgun.
Or a camera. Yes, you can put a camera in his hands.
Yeah, he's looking for definitive proof of intelligent life in the 21st century, which I got to tell you is even harder to find than Bigfoot itself, Purple Valkyrie.
That's a very meta statue. I like that, Salty.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for bringing that one up. I love that. I have got one more, if I may. Let me see if I can grab it. There we go. So it is one more thing that I wanted to cover now. A little while ago, I've talked about Krampus, and I wanted to cover a Welsh tradition to do with the Christmas time. So let me bring this up. Now, this hasn't actually happened yet, but it's close. So this is the story of the Mary Lwyd. So the Mary Lwyd is a tradition that appears around December to mid-January. It goes on for a while,
my God.
Which is Welsh New Year, surrounding an ancient horse ritual.
Wow.
Intrigued?
Wow. Sorry, continue. I'll mute myself as I go, wow, a couple more times.
So, as this tradition evolves into the 21st century, the importance of keeping the original message of the old true has become an important part of Welsh education. With general storytelling and many potential origins, the story continues to be a mystery, but brings joy and optimism for the future. Yeah, they say that now, but if nobody knows what this thing looks like, you're in for a bit of a surprise. There are pictures below. So what is it exactly? The Mary Lwyd is a tradition in which a horse skull is draped in bells, ruins and coloured ribbons. I think that's ruins is in a cloth. That's what they mean. Each year it would be taken from house to house, asking for entry via song. The Mary Lwyd would be accompanied by its merry men who would join in song and play fiddles, and it was also usually accompanied by a Punch and Judy show. So essentially what this
sounds
is,
awesome. This
it's
sounds
a
awesome.
Group of people, one of them is dressed up in this costume. They go door to door asking entry, and you have to have what is basically a rap battle with this character so that they don't steal your alcohol. Because if you lose, you have to let them in.
It's like Eminem before rehab. Is that what we're saying?
Exactly.
That's the holiday?
Yes.
Okay. So what does this thing look like? I mean, let's show the people who are not English. Oh, Jesus, that's a great picture. Yeah, it kind of freaks me out, but
there we go.
That
gives you an idea. So none of them are the same. You can make it look however you like, but the basic premise is always the same. It's always a skull. If you want to be traditional, you use a real skull, but a lot of people it'll be made out of wood or plaster or even cardboard and paper. I think some people have actually printed it as well, but if I was going to make one, and I'd actually really would like to make one just to have, I would try and get an original skull. So you put ribbons and baubles and decorations around it, and that's what she looks like.
Well, I'm sure if you wrote Applebee's, which is an American fast food chain, and you said, I want to get a skull from some of the horses you use to make your hamburgers, I'm sure they would just mail you one. Because that's the most disgusting food I ever eaten in my life was Applebee's. I do have another picture, and this is fascinating. Look at this. If you wonder if you know anybody who's Welsh who maybe has a screw loose, look at this. They're running around with this dude in a sheet with a horse's head on him, terrifying the children. Now, that's the kind of childhood, if I had children, I would inflict upon them, because I think it builds character. Have you seen anything like this in the UK, Purple? I mean, I know you have some Welsh blood, but I mean, did you have any of this growing up at all?
I do. I've actually seen this, but it's not in England. You have to go to Wales to see this. But what actually does happen is the Welsh and the English meet at a bridge, which breaks apart the boundary of the two countries, and you think it's described as going to war and then peace breaks out. So basically the two get together and have a big party.
Is there alcohol involved?
So much, yes.
All right. Now I want to go do this. Anyone else who's English in chat, tell us about your experiences because I think this is absolutely fantastic. Now we do have an American form of this Purple Valkyrie, and I
Okay,
wanted to show you
indeed.
this. This was actually part of a very popular show that was on HBO for a number of years. This is our own version of Maury Laud. This is Carrie Bradshaw on the show Sex and the City. Now you'll notice the skull and the shape of the head is exactly, and look, they even wearing the white, like in the Welsh festival. But yes, those of you, we didn't know this, did we? We didn't know
Wow.
the symbolism was across the pond.
You not only took me out, you took the chat out as well.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Tell me I'm wrong. Look at that face. What would you rather look at? Sorry. Go ahead, Purple.
That's incredible. I do have a couple more pictures if you don't mind me sharing. Let me bring it up. There we go. Let's see what they've got. So there's one from the front. It gives you an idea, and that is obviously a real skull.
I want to go to that party. I want to go to that party right there. That's where I want to be.
And if this group of people showed up, you'd let them in, wouldn't you? I know I would, because they look like they'd be fun to drink with. But
I'd hide the good bourbon. I'd leave all the Jim Beam out, but I'd hide the good bourbon if they came over. You know.
But she looks like a horrifying character, and unlike Krampus, she's not. She's just a kind of mischievous character. It actually translates to grey mare, and it's just symbolism. It's what they do, and it's. I love that they're keeping this tradition alive. I think it's wonderful. So it says, what does it actually mean? The origins of Mari's name, like the horse herself, are deeply mysterious. One Welsh translation of it is grey mare. It connects to the heritage of pale horses in Celtic and British mythology, many of whom can cross over to the underworld. So, for example, Rhiannon in the, I can never pronounce that, Manbingion. I butchered that.
That's totally it.
That's
totally
absolutely it. I failed. My Welsh ancestors will be screaming
just put
at me.
R's. Just put roll a lot of R's and put silent Y's in. You'll nail it.
Anyway,
Seriously.
Rhiannon rode a white horse, for example. The other translation for it is Grey Mary. Some scholars have linked her to a legend connecting to the nativity story, hence it's around Christmas time. A pregnant horse was sent out of the stables when Mary arrived to have Jesus. She spent dark days roaming the land to find somewhere to have a new foal. Many Mary fans believe the character to have come from pre-Christian pagan origins, however.
I believe that.
It's impossible to prove, but there's definitely something timelessly terrifying about her, they say.
I know.
I love that.
No, and here's an updated picture of our American version. Here we go. I think this was actually, they made a movie about this character. Again, truly terrifying. That skull is absolutely, I don't know. I mean, it's a different type of a Christmas thing than I'm used to, but definitely, I don't know, between Carrie Bradshaw and the actual horse head that you guys have, I'd still go with the real thing. You don't just want to get this derivative, schlock. Is it a female? I don't know. Matthew Broderick would know.
Yes. We need a second opinion. I know the horse skull's female, but this one,
yeah. Hashtag stop the horse face hate.
Dempsey said it's Shadowfax's unemployed cousin.
Show me the speed of haste, Carrie Bradshaw. Yeah, giddy up, girl. Come on.
Come on. Yeah.
Mr. Big, ride.
I can't. I just can't, but thank you. Thank you, guys. Dave Bob, great to see you. Says, when you can look at two people in the eye when they're standing either side of you, you might be a horse face. True story.
Or you might be an HBO series from the early 2000s. I don't give a shit anymore.
I hated
Whatever.
that show.
I know, I did too. I hated that show. I hated the messaging. It taught an entire generation of women how to be the biggest bitches in the world. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But anyway, I'm sorry to interrupt your cool Welsh fairy tale. Why don't we
Oh,
close with that?
no, not at all. That was amazing. But what I'll do is if you guys want to have a little bit more information, again, I will put it in the description below. But it is fascinating, and now that I've seen them and see that you can pretty much make them look any way you'd like, I'm now on the hunt for a horse skull. So if anyone wants to buy purple a Christmas present, I'll add that to the list.
I'll go out to some of the farms out here. There's a fair amount of horses, and elk too. But if I can only stumble across an elk skull, maybe I'll get that. So, yeah. Ooh.
And this is fascinating. Let me say hello to Maddie's daddy. Hope the little one is doing well. He says, my 11th great-grandfather was an English knight. His daughter moved to Massachusetts Bay Colony and was hanged as a witch.
Wow.
Okay, that's kind of incredible.
That's some street cred. That's street cred right there.
So that would make an amazing TV show. That I want to see.
I would, I don't mean to volunteer you, but maybe reach out to Purple Valkyrie, because I think it would be fascinating to talk about that. Because if we can establish some names, it's not doubting you, but once we get that providence, they call it, we can actually look up the actual meeting notes of that trial, which is oddly the same thing that's happening with the guys who were in the Capitol and women on January 6th. It was based on hysterical nonsense and trumped up charges. And here we are in the 21st century, and I have to stop talking. Go ahead. Sorry.
And let me say hello to Clobbering Times. Great to see you as always. And we've got t-shirt historian. It says, Purple, you've got to get a salty fellow Texan there. To Wales?
I'm not flying anywhere that requires you to get mRNA, DNA changing things that cause your heart aorta to rot away. But I don't know if I could get into the UK. I think the problem is coming back to my own country. They would not let me in. That's why my brother has wanted to come over for a number of years, because I have a 5-year-old niece that I've never met. But they didn't want to bring her when she was like 3, because who the hell wants to bring a 3-year-old on an airplane for 12 hours, right? But now that she's 5 and they can drug her up, thing like that, feed her turkey or give her Benadryl, none of that side of the family in Eastern Europe is having anything to do with that, and so he can't come back to the United States, and I don't know if he ever will be, because we didn't even get into it, but we will get into it. There was another pandemic planning event rehearsal that occurred, sponsored, and oversaw by an organization called the World Health Organization. Now, of course, everybody's favorite people were there. Good old Billy was there. Pfizer, Moderna, Merck. And what they were doing is they were just doing a gaming. They were just gaming out just like they did for COVID. Only, I wish I was kidding, but they were gaming out a new pandemic. It's just theoretical. But this one is much, much worse than what escaped from a lab in China. Let's be honest about it. This one will be particularly lethal to children and to young adults. I encourage you all to please look that up. Never trust anything anybody on YouTube says, except me. But still, look that up, and you will see for yourself this is a real event that occurred. Now, the last time this occurred was about 6 months before the Koof lockdown stuff. Now, what they gamed out in this simulation was forced vaccinations and militarized lockdowns in Western countries. Please look that up.
Yes, please do. As Zolty sent me what he'd read, and it is sickening. It really is, and they're telling us what they're planning to do. That's the worst part.
Just like they did with the COVID shit. Same thing. And that's actually part of Luciferianism. There's a lot of research I've been doing into the psychology behind this, because these people are just sociopaths, right? You can't reason with them. But it is a part of the Luciferian way of looking at things that you actually tell people what you're going to do. Like, I'm going to poison you with this. I'm going to murder you. And then if the people don't do anything about it, according to the Luciferian belief system, they're guiltless. What they do after that is completely allowed. Because if you're so stupid that you allow someone to do that to you, then you're the problem, not the Luciferian who's doing it. Does any of this sound familiar in about last 2 years? Please look these things up. I wish I was kidding. I wish I was. They're telling us what you do with it. We're all on our own on this one. I know how I'm going out, though. You know how your man Salty's going out, and it ain't like a bitch. That's all I'm going to say. So,
heck no. And chat is agreeing with you. Yeah, so please, guys, we try to keep it lighthearted, but we also try to talk about the stuff that actually matters, and not that talking aliens and green children doesn't matter, but there is a lot of very, very serious things going on in the world at the moment that YouTube would rather we didn't talk about, but we're going to do it anyway.
Yeah, until they take it away, because they will. Because whatever. Because my social credit score is going to be shit. Let's be honest about that. So I don't know. He disappeared. Whatever.
In the meantime, we're going to write a cookbook about how to use insects. Because
no, I'm not. I'm going to write a cookbook. Oh, I'm not going to say that. It's a lot of things that if this was my channel, I'd just blow right past common sense and go straight into F you. You know what I mean? But this is a true story, and then I'll shut up. But I actually made a video, came out a couple days ago, talking about Avatar. And in that, I used a GIF of Bill Gates with his eyes shifting right and left. Now, I saw it. I ripped this to an actual MP4 video file. I uploaded it to YouTube. And what happened was YouTube passed it. And then when it went live, YouTube edited out the 0.5 seconds of the Bill Gates GIF that was present when I was talking about the depopulation messaging of the Avatar movies. That's why if you go back and you watch my video, there is an inexplicable black half second where everything disappears on the screen. Now, I bust my ass editing video to make videos, take a lot of pride in it. So when there's an arbitrary black moment in the middle of anybody's video, it's because YouTube has stripped out whatever was in it. And this is the first time this has happened to me since the last time I tried to put a picture of Bill Gates in a video about 6 months ago. But you guys, this is as real as it gets, and you can always tell who it is who's in control because you can't make fun of them, can you?
Yes, and you were telling me it was taking longer than usual to process as well.
Yeah, but that could just be because YouTube's a pile of shit. But, yeah.
Before we wrap up, we've got a few people that have joined in. It's always great to see. We have got a Manamaneferen, great to see you. Says, hey all, just about to sit down to celebrate my sweet girl's sweet 16, but wanted to pass on my love and say hi to everybody. Wow.
Do you know what today is?
I do know what today is.
Today is a Manamanefren's birthday. And he and I were talking late last week that he shares his daughter's birthday. So for the last 16 years, our man Nathan has been screwed out of having his own birthday because it's all about the kids. It's always all about the kids. So please, everybody in chat, Nathan Manamanefren is a good dude. Love this guy. I hope you like your present. But please say happy birthday to our man Nathan. He's a good dude, righteous dude. So hail to you, Nathan, and happy birthday. I'm not going to sing to you, but maybe if you're nice and you slide a $5, Purple Valkyrie may sing.
I will sing anyway. Happy birthday. We've got a lot of birthdays today, so let me say happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Nathan and Renzero, Nathan's daughter. Happy birthday to you.
And many more. Look at, we've got Nerdporial Lifeform throwing $3 on the table, wanting something. What does our man Brian have to say?
Hello, Neporial. Great to see you. Says Manamnefron is a good dude. Corey's right. Absolutely. He
Cheers.
is. We have some amazing people. We really
And
do.
we have some amazing people in chat. And I know, every day should be like Christmas. And no, I'm not about to break into a Wham song. But it's just this time of year, I think the more miles I have in my odometer, the more I look back at the Christmases that have been. And there were some good ones. There were ones that could have been much better. Let's just say that in my 20s. Bad decision making. But we look around, and if the last 2 years has taught us anything, is about friendship and about trust, and who do we let in, and who do we want to give our time to. Now, I feel very blessed that all of you in chat would come and hang out with us, and I know it's mostly because Purple Valkyrie is awesome, but you put up with me too. But I'm really grateful for that, and I want you all to have a really Merry Christmas. If you're not into Merry Christmas, then whatever you're into. But I'm glad you're here, and I feel really blessed that YouTube has sucked my will out to live a lot. But one of the cool things is getting to meet people. Like I met OBG70 Mike. I met Kyle Zax before he even had a channel. He didn't ever want to even be on video, and then the dude's like, now he's unstoppable. You got Nathan, Nerdporial, Steve Prophet of the Dragon. I mean, there's countless people, and I sent a lot of you cards that are fellow creators, and I just think it's important that with what time we have, that we try and make the most of it, because the powers that be out there tried to take a lot away from us, and in some cases they did, and that they're never going to do that to me again. We're not going to go into details about that, but I just feel really blessed, and thank you for being here. So, yeah.
Absolutely. And let me agree with Magitex Max. Hello, sweetheart. She said, we need more Nathans in the world. Good dads. Absolutely. Could not have said it better. You guys are amazing. And let me say thank you to Ren0. Says, oh, thank you, Purple. Much appreciated. Well, much appreciated to you two. Had a fantastic show a little while ago talking about The Crow with Ren0. So just getting to spend time with you guys, and Salty's absolutely correct. He really is. Thank you.
Now, I don't mean to be contrarian with Dave Bob, who, if I remember correctly, I met Dave Bob along with you, Purple, in Dallas.
Yes, indeed.
And he gave you that incredible plaque of Dr. Doom.
Dr. Doom mask, yes.
So, no, I'm not a succubus because I have a PP. So I would be an incubus, but you're close. You're close, Dave Bob.
Guys, we have gone nearly an hour and a half today because of how awesome you are. Before we wrap up, Salty, is there anything you would like to let people know? I know you've been working very hard at the moment.
Yeah, I'm kind of, I wouldn't say recommitting to my channel because YouTube is but I wanted to make some content and things that matter to me. So in the last couple of days, I've dropped some videos. If you haven't checked them out, please do. Especially the one that I released today. It was looking back at 2022, and I think I did this back in the original video back in December of last year, talking about all of the wonderful fantasy that we were going to be getting in 2022. That didn't happen, but we did get a lot of things that claim to be fantasy. So it's a kind of an in-depth review of everything. Plus I also look at the Wheel of Time season 2, some of the new info that's out there. I've got that going on. There is a Christmas show that I want to do, but not in the way that you think. I want to talk about the psychology of what makes a good Christmas movie. What are the things that go into the story of a good Christmas movie? Now, there's a lot of terrible things that have Christmas on it these days that are out there, Mariah Carey being one of them. Now, what I'm looking at is stuff that actually is a great story. Yeah. No, I wouldn't. I was just gonna. I can't say that on your channel, but anyway, no, I wouldn't touch that with Carrie Bradshaw's dick. But no, I've got that going on. Probably gonna do a woo show this coming weekend. Look for my videos. And just everybody, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I hope you guys are doing all right. And Purple, as ever, it's great to work with you. So.
It is. Love getting to do these. So a huge, huge thank you. Dempsey says, I can't do much, but if you ever need anything, don't be afraid to ask. You two both rule. Same. DMs are always open, guys. If there is anything anybody needs, I think if the last couple of years have taught us anything, is that we need each other. So check up on each other, say Merry Christmas, and just remember that we're a community, no matter how far apart we are.
Yeah, but we're not a collective.
No,
It's interesting.
no.
So here's some inside baseball. While I'm on a live stream, I just got a text from Nathan, and he sent me a picture of his house and said his wife decorated for his birthday. There's balloons, and the balloons are numbers. Guess how old Nathan is? He's 1,644 years old. I know, he doesn't look a day over 1,000, right? It's crazy.
Nathan's gonna kill you.
I know. I just didn't put the picture up of your house, dude. I mean, there's nothing wrong with Nathan's house. There's not. I'm just saying.
And Soul Assassin, great to see you, says, listen to Christopher Lee's Metal Christmas album. You'll enjoy it. I will add that to the list because you can never have enough Christopher Lee.
It's true. It's true. Thanks for having me on today, Purple. Thanks to everybody in chat. Thanks everybody who broke my balls. Thank you so much to everyone. It's great to see Magitech Mag, Soul Assassin, Ren Zero, Dempsey, Zax, Jacob Ironsides, Smile a While, everyone who's been here, Dave, Bob. Thank you guys so much. I look forward to seeing you guys real soon.
Absolutely. Please check out the videos that Salt have been putting out, and we will be back. I am back on Sunday. I'm doing a show about Christmas songs, the best and worst, and we've got that 70s rock fan joining. We've got more woo-woo coming up, and I've got a Christmas show coming up next week as well. So lots of content, but a huge thank you, as always, to the master of the esoteric, Salty Traveling Sea. Could not do this without you. And a huge thank you to everybody who joined us today. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for your support and super chats. We really do appreciate it. I'm going to close out the show and let you guys get on with the rest of your day. But if we don't see you, have a very Merry Christmas. I hope the coming new year is a much better one for everybody. And
sorry,
I can't say it with
I thought I was mute. I thought I was mute on camera, but I was like, shit, this is just getting started. I do want to say a special thank you to Silverluck again. Thank you, Silverluck. That was a very generous super chat, so thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. All right, guys, much love to everybody, and we will see you very soon. Take care.
Last Christmas, I gave you my heart. You can play me out.